It's not as late as the other times I've done this. Doesn't make me any less confused as a result of it. So, I know the last few times I talked about writing tropes or things related to writing, specifically lit RPGs, general fantasy. I have more hobbies than just reading and writing, if you could believe that. I know I mentioned Hunt Showdown, so you can assume I play some fucking video games. I think I outright did not explain, did outright state that I had fucking played certain things. I'm just broke, so I don't buy many games. Whatever. Contrary to the shit I've been rambling on about, we're not doing anything related to video games today. Probably have a title, so you could have read it by now. We are instead doing something on analog horror. Now, I like analog horror. Granted, I like horror in general, horror movies, horror literature. I don't think I've played horror games, but if I did, I reckon I'd like them. Just because, hey, shit, I like horror, like I've been failing to explain. A little distracted, but it'll go away in due time. Anyway, so I like the horror genre. I'm mm, partially well versed in the horror genre. I know I mentioned SCP. Kind of moved away from the horror genre, and now it's just your sci-fi in general. But I like that, don't I? I like this brand of sci-fi. I don't like future settings, as I've made well aware. But I'm getting off topic once again. Sorry if I'm quieter. I feel like I just should be. It's nighttime. Other people live in this house. What was it? There are people in this house. Was that what it was called? Oh, I don't remember. You know what I'm talking about. So, analog horror, or just online, X my knuckles, online horror in general. I wager by now you lot know what that is, right? It's been a popular trend for long enough that it became beloved, then became memed, and is now in this nebulous state on whether or not we do or do not enjoy analog horror or digital horror, and I'll get into the differences in their not depictions and their definitions in a bit. Now, I do still enjoy analog horror. I still do think many things that are good can come from it, right? Uh, with this, I'll take a bit more of a liberal, like, ex- explanatory uh, perspective as opposed to the last few videos I did where I just assumed you know what I'm talking about. Because analog horror has only been, what, a few years recent? So, analog horror, right? Uh, you could say its grandfather was Local 58, and then you can say what put it on the map was Mandela Catalog. Ah, man. I had a point. I was going to say what, like, Local 58 came from, and then I forgot. Anyway, if you don't know what analog horror is, it's primarily a YouTube or just general internet focused brand of horror entertainment media, typically in the visual format that seeks to replicate a aesthetic of early 80s, I believe. If you think VHS, that's pretty much analog horror, right? Um, Maybe very, very, very early internet as well. But the early internet, like 2000s, 2010, that's digital horror. That's a different era. That's a different genre. And I see people going on, right, occasionally going, who cares about calling it anything but analog horror? Because when I say analog horror, you know what I'm talking about, generally speaking. I take a sip of water. Nice. My throat is still sore, as per usual, even though I didn't talk much today. Oh, that may be why. Anyway, analog horror, and its sibling, or uh, digital horror. So, analog horror, right? Like I said, it copies the VHS format, the old physical media. Digital, it's like old web pages and freaky forgotten sites is like the fun thing of it, or like a handheld digital camera as opposed to like a handheld recording camera that would like spit out tapes for you as recordings or DVDs, who knows. So takes another sip. Why did this come about, do we think? Probably because of nostalgia. Probably because people were like, oh, I remember the good old days of physical media and how it felt stumbling upon my grandpa's old stash of horror movies. That's a canon event for every Mexican brat, I swear. Not what I just said, but something analogous to it. You get your cousin coming over to babysit you or whatever because your family meets up, and then he shows you some horror movies that you weren't of age to like see properly, and it scares you for the next few months, and then you're like, ah, that's cool. I like that cousin. He's fun. Every Hispanic had that, I feel. And if you didn't, you're wrong. I had that. My aunts had that. My mother had that. I think my dad had that. I don't know the man. Anyway, what I'm trying to make is like that kind of old. I don't know what's going on, and it's terrifying. Is probably a good chunk of what it's trying to encapsulate, or at least it is to me. And I like that. It's always fun. When I have kids, I'm definitely gonna call over some of my friends, get a bunch of horror movies secretly, and be like, ah, show this to my kids, you know, give them that all typical, what's it called, family tradition. So there's a few styles of analog horror, you could say. Let's start with my least favorite, the PowerPoint presentation. Now, you may be thinking, ah, you fool, you idiot, you dummy, you moron. Take your sip of water. Take my fucking sip of water. How can it be a PowerPoint presentation if it's styled after old physical media? Well, it isn't. That's just what I call it, as of right now. Because the format, the way it's depicting itself for you, is like that of a PowerPoint presentation. It's just a slideshow. Text shows up, sound effects are played, maybe a short little video clip is put in. It's my least favorite. Not that it's bad inherently. There's a lot of great ones. Hell, practically all of the first season of Vita Carnis was like that. And I adore Vita Carnis. Hold on. I'm fighting my own stomach acid. Alright, I won. And I adore Vita Carnis. All of Urban Spooks, the painter is like that. And I don't like all of Urban Spooks, the painter. Not even just because of the issue in bold and italicized text, if you know what I'm talking about. Congratulations. You spent too long on the internet. Ah, you're just like me. Just like Ryan Gosling, who's literally me. Takes a sip of water. So, I guess we can just start. So, I'm not A, I don't have editing tools, and I don't feel like learning. B, I respect the creators, even if it's something I don't like. You put effort into something, put it online for those to see. Shit, dog, I respect the hell out of that. So I will not be summarizing any specific analog horror here, nor will I be putting it up, nor is this a reaction. This is me just rambling as per usual. Smiles. Grins. Grins. Anyway, so let's start with the things I don't like about. So was I gonna start with the things I like or don't? Whatever. Let's start with the things I don't like about analog horror. Fucking uh, PowerPoint presentation format. I'm just gonna adjust my mic so maybe this picks up better. So what I don't like about I have a headset, so that's why it probably is shit. So the things I don't like about the analog horror PowerPoint presentation format is the following. It is very, very dull. You know what I mean. It looks like a fucking PSA, and sometimes it literally is, but sometimes it is. Man, I do like the PSA format, which I will talk about later. So, my issue is it is very simple, and simplicity isn't inherently bad. However, there's no denying it is a very simple one note format, It's restrictive, I guess, is what I'm trying to get at here. It's a restrictive format of delivering your little spooks and tale. Ugh, my body hates me. I eat healthily, I drink water, why does it hate me so? Anyway, usually the graphics for it aren't especially great. Not that a shiny coat of paint will do wonders for your story. If your story isn't good, coat of paint won't help you. I'll tell you that much right now. But that's beyond the. We'll get into like plot beats later. When you compare this style to other formats, it's very clear which one is, I don't want to say the superior format, but which one is the superior format. Like, you look at the early uh, seasons of Vita Carnus, and then you compare it to later parts of Vita Carnus, and you're like, hot damn, made by the same person? How? It's great fun. Of course, like I said, I like the early seasons of Vita Carnus. That's because the plot hooked me in, not because the format was a spectacle that draws the eye. And you don't always need it. What is it? Magneto Shakta, which I only know from Moldred, because it's in Russian and I don't understand it. He did a service to me, one I will not forget. Um, wonder what he's doing. I just finished watching some of his videos literally 2 days ago. Am I caught up? I'll check later. Anyway, like something with that draws me in a lot more than it does, right? Than its visual presentation. Takes another sip of water. I guess I'll put it this way. Despite liking reading, SCP draws me in because of the stories it tells, not because of the format it has. No, that's a lie. I like the format it has of like a scientific research document. But the point I'm trying to make here is the format isn't everything. So me not liking the format is not an inherent negative upon it. I just give things a try. I give things a try. I really do. But when you compare it to other things, it's just not as good. Now, what I do like is that it is easy. It's something simple to sink your teeth in as an early creator. What was the guy, the man in the suit? If I remember correctly, the early episodes were a lot like that. And look where that kid is now. I respect the hell out of him. That was some good shit. Well and truly, that was some good shit. Um, my throat's sore. Like he built something up for himself with humble beginnings. I like that. People were fucking like. I'm gonna take a sip of water before. I'm gonna take a sip of water before I go on this rant. Okay. So a good chunk of this. Again, I never script these. A good chunk of this will likely be ranting and being upset about the analog horror community, fandom, whatever you want to call it. I remember when the man in the suit was first gaining traction. It was ridiculed, it was mocked, and it was insulted. And I was disgusted. Not to be like, oh, I was disgusted. Look how pious and pure I am. I mean, I was disgusted in terms of like, come on, get fucking real. Someone put their time and effort into making something for the wider community at large to watch. That takes effort, and that takes bravery to put it up there. And what do? We spit in that little rat bastard affectionate face? Because what? We don't like it? We don't like the way it's, like, presented to us? We think we're beyond that? We think we're better? No, the fuck we do not. Because there will always be more creators than there will always be more consumers of content than there will be creators of content. I do not like when we put down creators for putting something up. Of course, that is not to say, oh, you put something up and put it online for all to enjoy. You will never be, you will never be ridiculed. You are always pure and holy. No, obviously, like some people, right? If you get into like what they do, and you know what I'm trying to say. Sometimes people need to be kicked out for the good of the community. Gatekeeping is a necessity sometimes, but when someone maybe just followed the conventions a little too closely, just give some advice and move on, please. Don't be a fucking asshole and tear the guy's head off. Thankfully, as far as I'm aware, I don't remember if I caught up. They've continued creating. I know they've made merch, if what I remember is correct, and I love that. Keep at it, little bro. I need to catch up. Anyway, I like that it's easy to create, which leads to a lot more creators than we would usually have. Um, Take SCP, for example. Another form of horror with a unique delivery method, because all of analog horror is pretty unique when compared to the typical horror. Maybe I'll do creepypastas next, too. Anyway, take SCP, for example. Its method of delivery is quite unique. It is stylized after a scientific report. That's so fun. And then you get the whole lore of SCP. Ooh, maybe I should just do it on SCP. I can rant about SCP for several hours, and in fact, I put many people to sleep ranting about it. Not that, like, what I'm saying is boring, though I'm pretty sure it is. It's just like, oh, it's late at night. Making myself feel sad remembering something. Anyway, I can write about SCP for hours, but let me continue on with what I was saying after I take this water. So, SCP, like I said, stylized after lab reports, which gives you fun lore about a secret society. We love secret society stories, or at least I like them. So, SCP's whole deal is there's this secret, like, shadow government containing anomalies and freaks in nature that should not exist, objects of great power that are unexplainable, shit like that. They do science on them to figure it out, all that. I immediately lost the plot. I remembered SCP has been going on for several years, since 2007, if I remember correctly. I joined back during, I want to say, the fifth series, back when there were roughly 4K entries, if I got my timeline right. So I've been around for a while. I don't post, but I've been around for a while. I've seen the standards for SCP hike themselves up and up and up. I don't think this is a bad thing. SCP has a good sort of quality standard it strives to accomplish with a good mod team. At least from what I've seen, they're a good mod team. They do well to cull the shit that's not super great and do well to ensure the stuff that is good stays around. I'm gonna finish this water real quick. And I think that's so far been a good thing. Like I said, sometimes gatekeeping is necessary. Most of the time is necessary. I mean, choking on fucking water droplets. Everyone knows how that scenario. Anyway, I think it's good that the mods have been keeping a good standard of quality, that SCP readers have been keeping a good standard of quality, because there's two kinds of SCP fans, on and off-site. Now, not to say that off-site fans are some sort of horrid, putrid, crossbred mutts that deserve to be put down and stomped beneath my boot, but I will say I am an on-site fan. I am better than you. Get with the program or be subsumed. What I'm trying to say is that fans who are on site usually have on average, have a greater respect for the lore, have a greater understanding of how the world functions, and are generally more willing to engage with material beyond Series 1, as opposed to off-site fans that regularly get shit wrong, kind of make us look like jackasses and morons, and consume the slop content. A lot of SCP content is slop content on YouTube. This stupid fucking. I hate the rubber. I hate Tales from the Foundation. Is it Tales from the Foundation? One of those stupid fucking shittily animated clickbait gets the files wrong. Racist queer people. What is another one? Straight up lies. Targeted towards kids. Shit like that. I hate them so fucking much. We keep away from that on site typically. Fuck you. Right. Piece of shit. Anyway, we keep away from that on site typically. That is because our quality that we must keep for the entries, things that are bad, they get deleted, and we wipe our hands clean from that. If you want an example of what an SCP style content is like without quality standards, go to the Backrooms wiki. It's not very good. I'll tell you that much right now. It is like a failed SCP project. Wow, I bounced me off hard. So, back to the PowerPoint presentation thing I was speaking about. the whole issue I've got with, not the issue, that I like that it's simple and people can put things up there. This is because with video, it's a lot easier because it's not an overarching narrative. All of analog horror is not one giant narrative. So something like this, it's less necessary. If I don't like someone's video, I can just move on. I can ignore it. So having this simple slide, basically a slideshow, not in resonance, so basically a slideshow is really nice because I am just able to enjoy a larger number of creators because the barrier for entry doesn't seem so horrifically high, which is nice. Something people don't really take credit into is like the idea of creating can seem daunting and scary, and it scares a lot of people from making, which is sad. A lot of fandoms die that way. Anyway, I don't think I have much to say on this that is not just getting into specifics that I have since forgotten. Um, let's tackle some, before we move on to another, like, mode of delivery, let's tackle some specific series. Let's start with something that isn't exactly analog horror, but has analog horror themes, i.e. VHS types. Marble motherfucking titty sucking hornets. Or just marble hornets if you're sane. So, if you know Marble Hornets, you know it because of the Operator, as he is called, not Slenderman, a substantially more intimidating and cool name. Skinny white dude, the Operator. Which one's cooler, Western Man? Make your choice. Anyway, I've watched all the Marble Hornets a few times. It's like a yearly tradition for me, even if I don't mean to do it, I watch it practically yearly. And that being said, I forgot a lot of it. Probably why I watch it yearly, just to remind myself of peak. Anyway, Marble Hornets. If you don't know what it is, it follows, well, VHS tapes as someone uncovers Jay, a former member, not a member, former friends with Alex. These are I'm just gonna put up character names. I'm gonna say them rather. Jay, a former friend of Alex, is curious about Alex's sudden disappearance. Before Alex disappeared, he was contacted after a long, not talking to each other, by Alex, who gave him a bunch of tapes after their last meeting. Jay was like, "Hey, what's this shit?" He's like, "Just old recordings of Marble Hornets," which is like a student art film they were making in universe. He's like, "Oh, what do you want me to do with these? Burn them, break them, record over them? I don't give a damn. Just get these away from me," or something like that. Um, and eventually, Jay wants to play detective, so he starts watching the tapes to be like, was Alex fucking weird? Was he freaking out? Were there signs of this? And it follows from there on forward as he slowly peels away the veil and discovers the Operator. And then there's a bunch of other like little subplots with To the Ark and a bunch of stuff. It was an ARG. ARG. I don't know if that picked up on the mic. ARGs go hand in hand with online horror in general. Marble Hornets was unique in the fact that it was one of the earlier ones. Not the earliest one, but it was one of the earlier ones, and it was stiff sure as fuck the first one for Slenderman. Because I think it was the first video content for Slenderman. It was pretty soon after the Something Awful forums post about him. The art contest, if you know what I'm on about, if you know Slenderman lore. So, Marble Hornets took the internet for a wild fucking ride. Because at the time we were all obsessed with the Slender Man. We've since not been anymore after the incident TM, which we're all very uncomfortable about. Takes a new sip of new water. So, why am I bringing this up? It's because I feel like a lot of analog horror takes inspirations or plot beats. This isn't bad, because it truly is inspiration. I feel inspiration or plot beats from Marble Hornets, even if they don't mean to. What do I mean? Well, with analog horror, it's a little bit more overt, right? Sometimes the monster will be in frame. I might have nightmares later, by the way, because I'm like going through the videos in my brain. It's like, oh wow, I'm remembering a lot of the cool ass art, and I remember that it's scary. I'm not a bitch. I'll admit that I'm afraid. Um, Marble Hornets kind of fucks with me sometimes. So does the I'll get into it. Sometimes in analog horror, the the frame will linger on the monster. As it does, there will be artifacting on the VHS. There will be audio errors. There will be chromatic aberrations. There will be holy shit! Something freaked out. Something popped in my room. My heart. Oh, good Christ! Oh shit! Okay, okay. I'm alone. I'm safe. I'm not gonna die. I got Jesus. Alright, that actually worked. Okay, cool. So, I'm gonna. This is. My blood pressure is gonna go crazy in it. Anyway, I'm not editing that out because I can't. Anyway, for lack of better words, sometimes analog horror, if it focuses on the monster in the recording, it'll glitch. For all you Zoomers out there, I am one of you. It will glitch out. I don't know if it was started, but it was sure as hell popularized by Marble Hornets. When the operator is in frame, not even he's just the focus, so long as he's in frame, audio errors will occur. Static will fill the screen. Not fill the screen, will dance across the screen. There will be warping of the perspective. Sometimes whole fucking scenes will be overlaid on top of each other at random. It's great. He truly feels like he's infecting the media, as he should be, because the operator functions kind of like a virus. It's kind of cool, isn't it? It's kind of cool. He's like separate lore from the overall Slender lore, but it's what caused Slender sickness to first be real. And I know some of you are watching, like, they just got flashbacks to reading Wattpad fanfics and got embarrassed. Loser. Never be ashamed of being cringe. Anyway, I'm gonna take another sip. So, if you didn't start it, sure as hell popularized the idea of like having these aberrations appear on screen when the monster is in frame, which is cool. I like that a lot. To continue on with shit, it probably implemented is having. I was about to call them proxies. They're not called proxies in Marble Hornets in actuality. So let's just call them supplicants, because that's a cool word and reminds me of Trench Crusade with the Church of Metamorphosis. I hope they come out soon. The Hound Supplicants, I think they're called. Oh wow, the art's great. Nasty pieces of work. That's actually not called supplicants because I'm gonna absolutely forget. Anyway, Woody and Maskey, as they've been come to be called by the fandom at large, are not actually proxies in Marble Hornets. If you didn't know, my throat is wow, it's fighting me today. Another sip of water. Woody and Maxie are not proxies. Would you know that? They're just like infected by the Slenderman, by the operator. Sorry, I misspoke. I'm pretty sure they fucking hate the guy. And a bunch of stuff is revealed. I'm trying my best to not spoil Marble Hornets, even though it's been around for ages, because you really should give it a watch. It's great fun. You can find it all in a playlist that's like has it in order, as well as being able to, um, like the To the Arc videos are sprinkled in when they need to be. I was gonna talk about like like the monster puppeteering people, even though like Marble Hornets didn't exactly do that, but the wider idea of Slenderman has that, so people like take that as inspiration. But I quickly distract myself, moving off topic, moving on to the topic of the thing I just said, To the Arc. It's a second channel. It's still part of the Marble Hornets plot. It's a separate channel from the Marble Hornets channel. That's why you gotta watch that playlist I mentioned. It's all in one solid shot, because nowadays it's kind of hard to follow because it's not happening in real time. Which means you're not going to be able to read the tweets, but the tweets are actually secondary material, which you don't need for the wider narrative, which is good. I'll get into my issue with the ARGs later, more than likely. I might end this one quickly too. My throat is like actually killing me. Anyway, so I saw in Zog it all. Anyway, I remembered. So something like To the Arc, which is a secondary channel run presumably by the antagonist or someone related to the antagonist or another narrative force within the wider story you're telling, is a common enough practice nowadays. Chainmail Chasers had something monkey fan. I'm gonna quickly look it up. Watch Chainmail Chasers if you haven't. It's digital horror and it's season 2 is kicking off. Fucking finally. So it is called Ice Cream Monkey Fan Re-Uploads. Ain't that funny? That picture of Smile Dog's gonna fuck with me when I go to bed tonight. Can't wait. So, you can see it coming on even now with a modern series going on as we speak. The idea of the second channel run by another force in the narrative, popularized, I fully believe at this point, by Hornets. It's not a bad idea. I kind of like it. It's fun. You get different perspectives for the story you're telling in a convoluted way, because we love cryptic things and convoluted issues. I don't think it should be overused. However, just consider the following. I come in 3 years after it's ended, and I don't know the second channel. I miss half of the narrative because of this. Woe is me. Many such cases. Or even better, you lose me in your convoluted narrative because I have to keep swapping between 2 channels. Again, why I recommend that supplemental playlist where that's everything's in order. Chainmail Chasers does good on this. From what I remember, I can check right now. It's still pulled up on my phone. Oh, actually I closed it. I can go through it real quick, don't worry. Playlists. Chainmail Chasers full series. Yes. Yep, I was right. If you click the playlist and watch through the playlists, the Super Monkey Fan Club, Super Monkey Fan, that's not at all what it is. Not Super Monkey Fan Club. The Ice Cream Monkey Fan re-uploads. Oh no, it's actually kind of confusing. Oh, damn it. So, if you watch the full series playlist, they're spliced in where they should be within the narrative being told, the timeline. If you watch season 1, they're nowhere to be seen. If you watch intermission, they're all there. So, like, I get the idea. Um, I would have preferred if on the second channel, they're on a playlist there for just those. And on the main channel, they were all spliced in as they should be. Because again, the idea is to have one consistent through-line narrative. So, that, like I just said, no, like I was going to say, say if I wanted to watch Chainmail Chasers and I was new to the series and I didn't know about Ice Cream Monkey fan re-uploads, and I just watched from channel, I went to videos, scrolled to the bottom, and watched them in sync, in sequence, I wouldn't know when I would miss out. If I watched through the playlist of season 1, I wouldn't know when I missed out. If I watched through the playlist of full, I would know. You see the issue, the disparity of information between your fans? It can become an issue. If you're going to do the second channel, you should make it a lot more obvious, or you should link to the videos in the end cards, because some people don't do that, which is a crying shame, especially with what we call, I forgot, I think it's narrative jacking, or ARG jacking, game jacking, I think it's game jacking. No, it doesn't mean you're cranking your hog or you're jerking your gherkin, right? What it means is that some loser with too much time on their hands and not enough friends to talk to, kind of like me, smiles, but I never did that, don't worry. The issue with game jacking is someone could see this unique and beautifully well crafted story and then make a video and try to pass it off like it's a second channel and it's part of the story to farm attention and views because they just Okay, so there's a very clear distinction between fan content and game jacking. The issue is with game jacking, not with fan-made content. This is because most fan-made content is describing itself as such, because it is. If you see a fan video, it'll usually say fan creation of blank series made by blank creator. And that's good, we like that. Like I mentioned, having an active community is fucking holy grail for a lot of fandoms. The issue with game jacking is not that at all. It's not made out of love, not usually. It's made to either siphon attention or because look at these losers having fun with their stupid little videos. I don't like it. I'll be a dick about it and try to ruin their narrative like a fucking asshole. Tribe 12 had a bunch of those before the creator became a pedophile. Was it the creator of Tribe 12 was a pedophile, or was it the creator of something else was a pedophile? Let me look that up right quick, because I don't want to make false accusations right now. As late as it is, I have self-respect. Tribe 12 creator, pedo? Question mark? Oh, this is not giving me the responses I want. As in, this is not actually talking about what I'm. Was it because I had a space in it? 12 creator. Adam Rosner was the name. Uh, Following allegations. Let's see here. Hold on, I'm sorry for like pausing this all. I just need to. A confession from Adam over a phone call. Fuck me. He's never addressed the allegations. I'll have to look into this later. So, he may very well be a groomer, which is that. Damn it. It was a good story. Because I was going to mention Trap told about a few game jacking attempts. I remember them. Damnation. If you want to ethically consume the content, go look into it yourself because I don't want to pause right now and I'll lose my train of thought. Uh, I'll do that later myself. I need to figure this out. Let me take a sip of water. Crying shame, crying shame. So, I remember Treptov had a lot of game jacking attempts. Because Treptov had an active Discord, from what I remember. To the point where it was a plot point that a video for Tribe 12 looked like a game jacking attempt on the Discord before it was published on the channel and revealed to just be the next, like, plot arc thing. If you're in the wider community, you probably know what I'm on about. But let's move off of this topic because now it's making me feel weird thinking about it. So, what was I on about? I don't remember. I remember secondary channels can be used for a lot of good things. The overusage of it has been grating on me recently, and if you're going to use it, please make a playlist where you have all of the videos in one neat timeline to make it easier for the viewer to, well, view. Let's move on to another kind of format. 3D animations. Was that my jacket? What made that noise? Okay. Fucking talking about horror always cuts me like this. Is 3D animations, or just, you know what, let's move away from that. Let's just do, like, videos. Let's call it videos in general. Because I don't know how to actually divvy up everything. They don't have definite genres or explanations or names. What separates videos from the rest of the shit? Eh. Let's think. The Backrooms by Kane Pixels. A good chunk of the modern Gemini home entertainment by Remy Abode. Morley Grove by Remy Abode. Morley Grove fucks with me something fierce. That's really the original horror, though. So the difference is, you may be thinking to yourself, but Gemini Home Entertainment is a lot of presentations as well. Is my response, first of all. My second response is kind of not. A lot of them are like the 3D animations. I don't think it's shifting tendons, old bones, and wretched hands. They're all great. Home Invasion Help has that animation you remember very well, the 3D one of the meat. I won't spoil it if you haven't seen it. If you haven't seen Jim and Al Entertainment, pause right now, go watch that shit. If you haven't seen King Pixels' Backrooms, pause right now, go watch that shit. If you haven't seen Remy Abode's Morley Grove, pause right the fuck now. Go watch that shit. Oh, wow, it did me in something fierce. The Morley man fucked me up. Watched it alone in my bed at night. I'm gonna quickly pull it up so I can call the videos by their names. Give me a second. This one's gonna be a lot more spacey than the other ones, I can already tell. So, clicks on his channel. This one fucked me up. So, also, where is the man? It's been a while since his last posts. Damn shame. Morley Ghost. Wow. That one made my heart stop. So, like I said, I watched this series alone at night in my bed at 1 in the morning a few years ago. I passed out. Not from the video. Later on, I passed out. I didn't go to sleep. I fucking passed out because I stayed up. That shit fucked with me. I got my boy, my main man, my number one friend, and a call of like a year later, and we watched a bunch of stuff I was sending him. And I was like, oh, one more to cap off the night, one more to cap off the night, because he wanted to go to bed. And I was like, fine, one more, but don't make it too bad. And I was like, oh, it's not too bad, don't worry. Forgetting what it was, and I pulled up Morley Grove. So I'm talkative when I get scared, which is why talking about this is helping me, because I'm frightful right now. I don't remember if I pissed him off. If he did, he never said. Morley Ghost, uh, it got me apologizing to the man. I was like, shit, okay, I'm fucking sorry, this wasn't supposed to be this scary, oh, fuck, oh, shit, and I like would jump at the scares. I remember he made a noise too, yeah, so I'm not totally a bitch, neither is he, but like, fuck. It got me good, right? And it got him good too. It's some good shit. It's the good shit. Morley Grove is. Again, this is not analog horror, it's early modern horror, as it takes the back to what I was saying. It's spliced in with a little bit of live action footage. Alongside live action footage is a literal presentation, but like that is something in context. Don't worry. Best one was not best one. Another format he used was a internet website, like an exploring an internet website, going through it, so clicking through all the links. It was really, really fun. That was the first video, I believe. So please go watch it. It's a great series. But what I'm trying to paint is there's lots of ways to do analog or digital horror that is not just simply a police presentation or something. So let's move over to Gemini Home Entertainment, which has just that. So its style is after an entertainment company, one that sells VHSs of various things. Ooh, what is it that fucked me up? Because it had excellent usage of sound effects. I'm gonna click it very quickly. Gemini Home, scroll down. Artificial Computer was great. Lethal Omen was pretty good. Sleep Image. Games for Kids. Ooh, I shuddered to that one. I keep watching it at night like a dumbass, so like that was the biggest issue, but ooh, wow, that one got me. Wow, that one got me. Okay, so, well, I made a loud noise and it scared me. I'm not gonna sleep tonight, am I? So, Gemini has a bunch of different mediums, because there's maybe a about, like I mentioned before, like with the Morley Grove has a bunch of different, you know what I'm saying? It's stylized good chunk of it is stylized after a media company selling VHSs. So you'll get like a documentary style of video for one. Everyone knows the first one. You've seen the first one, the wood crawlers. What was it? What states like top 3 weirdest animals in the northern U.S. Something like that. Yep, world's weirdest animals. Um, and then you'll get like a Christmas party video, and then you'll get like a video about like a tech company talking about their newest generative model before the AI issue was a thing. It was like artificial learning, right? It was like, can we teach a computer to recognize patterns? It wasn't AI images. It's 5 years ago, okay? It was actually like cool to do plots like this. Nor was it made with AI. I'll talk about that later. So, there's a lot of different ways to do things, including with live action footage. I don't think Gemini has live. I remember Morley had a bit. Some other stuff had a bit. Prehistoric Emergence just recently had a video where a chunk of it was live action with some editing in it. That was very nice. And we all know Kane Pixels' Backrooms, all made in Blender, beautiful animation. My issue with the Kane Pixels Backrooms is the overall narrative of, I forget the company's name, is less interesting to me than the videos of random people falling in and wandering. That's way cooler to me. Those were way cooler. Of course, the overall overarching narrative isn't bad per se. It's just the other one captures my interest far more. Not to discredit the other stuff, it's very, very good. He's a phenomenal animator, and I can't wait to see what the movie's all about. Takes another sip of water. Some shots you swear were real. Uh, of course, this has its pros and cons. Pros, it's fucking awesome. Cons, it's harder. Practically the inverse of the thing I said prior. Not that it being hard is a bad thing, because that means those who stick with it usually have some fucking phenomenal content for us to eat. A 5-course meal, not slop at all. Of course, this means that the amount made is far lower. So, and the wait time between is far longer, which is upsetting. And that means the good stuff gets content farmed. The content farm mills start going up about it. You've seen it happen to the Backrooms. You've seen it happen to SCP. You've seen it happen to Squid Game, which I've never seen. You've seen it happen to everything you love, and soon it will take even you. Ain't that a crying shame? But the unique format can also bring a unique storytelling premise. Chainmail Chasers narrative is a unique one I have not seen. Man, I love that thing. Again, digital horror, not analog, but still. And it features your favorite creepypastas. Yef the Killer, Smile Dog, Glender Man, 2021 New York City Heaven Stairway Incident. Remember the Trolls meme? That was fun. That's 2021? What's that? Fuck, I feel old. When was that meme? Oh, I opened up YouTube and I just got fucking flashbanged with Morley Grove and I got scared again. Then I look up Chainmail Chasers and have to see that fuck-ass image and I get scared again. The Mario image. Fucks with me. 2021, yep. Man. How old is the Trolls meme? Hold on. Trolls. 1 month ago? You made this a month ago? Okay, people are still making it. 4 days ago, 2 years ago. Okay, so like these is some recent stuff every now and again. Hmm. I've not. Wow. You don't see this very often. Like, how could I not see this very often? It's everywhere, apparently. Still being made. That's a barrier for entry that's low. I guess keep going on, bros. Keep doing what you're doing. Sips my water. Thinking my waiter. So, the unique format can give way to unique stories. Um, or phenomenal, memorable scenes. Vita Carnes had a scene with, has scenes, plural, with physical props. Holy damn, you don't see that often. Darian Quilloy, you're something else. Love the content. Keep it up. So, um, I do everyone prefers these, I do believe. Prefers these. It's unique little, lots more effort put into making them. Sorts of ideas. As do I. I'm no, like, fucking Puritan saying analog horror needs to be X thing. Because even the grandfather of analog horror, Local 58, each video is different from video to video. You were on the fastest available route. I'm pretty sure it was live action footage because it's like dash cam footage. Um, I don't remember its name, but the one with like the public PSA was, well, it was just that. It was a public PSA stylized as a sort of governmental broadcast. Cartoon for Children was, well, stylized like a children's cartoon. So even the beginning of it had varied formats, varying delivery. Um, Something like the Minerva Project, which, yes, I do know from Moldred, his video on it. Um, I remember watching them separately to give the creators a little bit of a, I give them my view, to see it all like fully. The Minerva Project. See if that what it was called. What is this? I looked it up and I find something not that. Hmm? Minerva Alliance. That was it. I keep wanting to call everything a project. That's my issue. Um, Points pest control. I think Remy Abode had a video in one of these. Because it was a bunch of creators come together to make an anthology. Very fun. I like anthologies, I mentioned before. It's defunct now, or rather, it is no longer being made, sadly. Hope it comes back. It was cool. I forgot what I was gonna say. What was I gonna say? Was it about one video in particular, or just the idea in general? It styled itself after SCP, which I remember now. I keep wanting to call everything the Blank Project. I don't remember why. Played Analog Horror that had Project in that name that got popular. The Fenston Missouri Incident, which is also digital horror. Fenston Missouri Collection. It's got some fucking screens that I don't like. The thumbnail's scary. Why am I looking? Um, I keep wanting to call it the Fenston Missouri. It's on the Black MES channel. You can look that up. It's very good. But I keep wanting to call it the Fenston Missouri Project, even though I know it's not called that. It's called the Fenston Missouri Collection, Incident, whatever you want to call it. And I want to call everything that, which is a real shame. I don't know why. It's been bugging me. But that I've been had on the back of my mind since I started rambling into this OBS recording. Because it's very, very good. It's very, very early. More people should watch it. It's great. It, too, has different formats of delivery. I'm terrified right now. I'm paranoid. What's happening? Am I gonna die? Whatever. So it has like recordings. It has a recording like a phone app. It has a recording like a camera. It has a school project style of like presentation about a topic you want to talk about, like a college thing, but it's made by a child very clearly. In universe, that is. Hell, it even has a meme video that is canon. Can you believe that? Anyway, um, what I'm trying to get at is there are very unique styles of delivery for your horror online project that should be considered more often. Even bringing the back to the classics like a fucking blog, Ted the Caver shit. Boom, baby, that's some good eating right there. I might touch on creepypasta tomorrow if I don't get scared off doing horror in the late night. When creepypasta sucks, I know, but shit, when it's dark, you think. So, I'm losing my train of thought soon. This will end pretty quickly, but I still have a few things I want to go over. The community aspect. We all want to come together and watch some horror, right? So when I see people like, oh, X thing is not even scary at all, didn't even flinch, oh, stupid thing, you guys are scared by Dumb Baby Project? Come on, dude, shut up. Who gives a fuck? Like, no one cares that you're a stoic badass, right? Fenston, Missouri terrifies me. Morley Grove is horrifying to me. Gemini Home Entertainment's, like, startled me something fierce. Marble Hornets gets under my skin, right? I don't even watch Mandela Catalog, that scared me so bad. I'm not ashamed to admit it, but some people seem to be allergic to saying I'm afraid. Maybe it's just internet cringe culture in general looks down upon being honest about your feelings, right? I may be cringe, I may be a pussy ass bitch, but I'm free, baby. I'm free. Be like me. Fucking failure to waste the skin. Anyway, I already mentioned creator passion. I already touched on game jacking. Maybe we should just be more open to big issue with community. You people watch explanations of the content more than you do the content, which hurts creators. Like just creators, it only hurts them. I love Wendigoon. I love his content. I see people call him Isaiah. It makes me feel weird. It's like I don't know that guy. I'm gonna call him his YouTube handle Wendigoon. I watch his Creepcast. I watch Wendigang. I watch some of his stream VODs. I don't watch streams. I watch the VODs. I watch like all of his content. I don't listen to Red Thread because true crime makes me feel uncomfortable. It feels very predatory about actual tragic events, and I don't like that. I like Wendigoon's content, even if I don't watch that. It makes it feel weird when he talks about stuff like that. I don't really jive with that. Whatever. Point I'm trying to make is like, I get it. I watch Wendigoon. I get it. I watch Nightmind. I get it. I watch. Forgot his name. But we need to, if we're gonna watch those videos, watch them afterwards, because sometimes the fun is deciphering the plot for yourself. And we really need to like support the creators in all the ways we can. They don't make much, like, maybe they do make a lot from this. I don't actually know. But the point I'm trying to make is we need to support the creators because they actually put effort and time into creating. If even just giving them your view, you don't even need to leave a like or a comment. Just giving them your view is a lot. 12 people have so far watched at the time of recording this. Let me just double check. Give it a second to load. I'm not working with the best tech here. Orc tech. I'm a mech boy. As of recording this, 12 people have watched my lit RPG video. 3 people have liked it. 2 people have watched my typical fantasy tropes video. I didn't expect this. I thought I'd get maybe 3 videos from my friends giving me a pity watch. Maybe these are all my friends giving me a pity watch and I have no idea. But the point I'm trying to make is, hot damn. Even still, it made me feel fun. Made me feel fun. Made me feel happy. I post fan fiction. I have not to brag. I have a staggering amount of hits on my fic. I've got a good amount of kudos. I have get a bunch of comments that I love responding to. It makes my day to see I even get a kudos from a guest, much less a comment, much less someone put me as a bookmark. That's a mark of pride for me. I know what it's like to be a creator and have someone like look at your stuff and know they looked at it. It's such a nice feeling. The least you could do is give them a look at, eh? Um, this was very disorganized and I'm very distracted, so I'm probably going to end this here. But the point I'm making is this. Analog horror is still good. Analog horror is still out there, it's still being made. Digital horror is amazing. Digital horror is out there, digital horror is being made. This online sphere will never die. Creepypasta might have been the beginning, might not have been. Maybe been something old. Urban legends were the beginning. Um, the advent of the online has not made it any worse. You may be tired of it, you may dislike it, but I am not. I will continue to watch. I ask that you give it a try. You may be surprised. There's some good stuff out there waiting for you. Go calmly and get surprised, cause some shit might scare you, and that's the fun of it, isn't it? I'm gonna have to deal with the fun very soon. Better not be anything in this fucking room. I'm gonna pray to Saint Archangel Michael before I go to bed, because it's late at night over here. Whoever watching this, hope you don't die, because I feel like I'm being watched. Anyway, I feel like I talked too quietly this one. See ya.